Let me tell you right off the bat, I was there. I was actually inside the Estadio Azteca for this, packed in shoulder to shoulder with tens of thousands of screaming fans. And the energy, wow, it was something I have never, ever experienced in my entire life. Mexico, South Africa, the absolute biggest football tournament in human history kicking off right in front of us. In this explainer, I'm going to take you right down onto the pitch and straight into the stands with me, so we can really get into exactly how Mexico secured this massive 2-0 victory. And why, honestly, it was so much more than just a game. This wasn't just a football match. This was a statement. And I literally cannot emphasize this enough to you guys. The crowd noise was so incredibly deafening. The passion was so thick in the air you could cut it with a knife. It genuinely felt like the stadium itself was a 12th man out there playing on the pitch. Every single tackle, every pass, every whistle, the Azteca reacted with the sheer force of an earthquake. It was a massive statement from the fans, a huge statement from the team, and an absolute roaring welcome to the 2026 World Cup. 3. The Estadio Azteca just became the very first stadium in the entire history of the world to host 3 men's World Cup opening games. Let that sink in for a second. No other stadium on earth has ever done that. So before a single ball was even kicked, we were all just sitting inside this living, breathing monument to football history. You could literally feel the weight of that legacy hanging over every single fan and every single player waiting in the tunnel. Now, context is absolutely everything here, because 16 years ago, the roles were completely reversed, right? Back in 2010, South Africa hosted Mexico in the curtain raiser, and Mexico couldn't pull off the win. Fast forward to 2026, now Mexico is hosting South Africa. And look, we have a notoriously anxious history when it comes to World Cup opening matches. Sitting in those stands, while the excitement was completely electric, you could also kind of feel the whole nation holding its breath. The pressure on El Tri was just astronomical. We had to break the curse. We had to totally flip the script from 2010. Section 1. The perfect opening show. But before that anxiety could really take over, we got a proper show. So this was the first of 3 global opening ceremonies, and it brought out Shakira, Andrea Bocelli, and J Balvin. I mean, Shakira at the Azteca? As a fan, just standing there watching that happen, it was pure, unadulterated awe. It was exactly the perfect, undeniable energy you need to open a tournament of this magnitude. The crowd was already at absolute maximum, throat-shredding volume, and the players hadn't even walked out of the tunnel yet. Section 2. 9 minutes to eruption. Then came the kickoff. And let me tell you, Mexico did not wait around. They came out so aggressive, they came out hungry, and they basically set the stadium on fire almost immediately. 9 minutes. That is literally all it took. South Africa made a really crucial mistake, cheaply conceding possession deep in their own defensive third, and boom, the punishment was instant. When that ball hit the back of the net just 9 minutes in, the eruption of the Azteca was unlike anything I have ever heard in my life. Just total beautiful chaos. But the absolutely crucial part here is who scored that goal, Julian Quiñones. So he's a Colombian-born dual national, and when he made his debut for the Mexican national team back in 2023, oh man, he faced heavy criticism. People were saying he wasn't Mexican-born, that he didn't belong, and what does he do? He goes right out and scores the very first goal of the biggest World Cup in history. He silenced every single critic in that 9-minute span. The guy everyone doubted scored the goal everyone is going to remember. Section 3. Red card chaos. Now, in theory, after an early goal like that, a team should just comfortably control the game, right? Put it to bed. But in practice, this game got incredibly spicy, incredibly fast. The momentum just shifted violently in the second half. Right after halftime, in the 49th minute, this brilliant lobbed pass sent Brian Gutierrez completely free, clear through on goal. And South African midfielders Sithole just brought him down. It was a stonewall red card for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. No debate whatsoever. And just like that, the entire complexion of the match was permanently altered. The sheer madness that followed was honestly unprecedented. South Africa was suddenly down to 10 men with 41 agonizing minutes left to play against a totally deafening home crowd. Though honestly, you have to give them some serious credit. They fought brutally hard, but the game just descended into pure chaos after that. By the end of it, 3 total red cards were shown in this opening match. South Africa finished missing 2 players, and even Mexico ended up finishing with 10 men. 3 red cards on day 1. The physicality was just completely off the charts. Section 4. A long time coming. But amidst all that chaos, there was this one moment. A moment that, for literally any Mexican fan who has followed this team over the last decade, was deeply, deeply emotional. 4 tournaments. One moment. Raul Jimenez. This veteran striker has been going to World Cup since 2014. He has literally carried Mexico's attack on his back through horrific injuries, massive setbacks, and just heartbreaking tournament exits. And through all those years, through 3 previous World Cups, he had never scored a goal on this stage. Not a single one. Until the 67th minute, the ball comes across and Jimenez finds himself at the completely free header at the back post, and he buries it to make it 2-0. Guys, I can't even describe the pure catharsis in the stands. The stadium didn't just cheer. It wept, it roared, it basically released a solid decade of tension all at once. Seeing the look on his face, finally getting his World Cup moment right in front of his home people, packed to the rafters at the Azteca, that right there, that is exactly why we watch football. Section 5. What this means next. So the final whistle blows, the celebrations pour right out into the streets of Mexico City, and we wake up the next morning. Now we have to look at this from a grounded, realistic perspective. What comes next? Let's look at the actual reality of Group A. Mexico walks away with a 2-0 win, 3 absolutely crucial points, and they have successfully broken their opening match curse. They sent a massive message to the rest of the 47 teams in this tournament. On the other side of the pitch, South Africa takes the loss, 0 points, and, arguably way worse, they are now missing 2 suspended players for their next critical group stage match. That is a truly devastating blow for a team that's already fighting an uphill battle. Which leaves us with this final burning question. Is this Mexico team actually capable of going deep? Yes, the Azteca erupted. Yes, the emotion was absolute perfection. But Mexico still has to face South Korea, and they still have a really tough European opponent waiting for them in Group A. Was this a flawless start, or did the massive home crowd energy kind of mask some underlying flaws we'll see exposed later? Well, we're going to find out very soon. If you want to keep following this journey and get fast, clear, structured breakdowns of every big match in this massive 48-team tournament, make sure to hit subscribe. Because if day 1 is any indication, this World Cup is going to be absolutely unforgettable. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.